Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I am here with my August TBR, which are all the books that I hope to read in August of 2026. I cannot believe that is August. I saw a TikTok today that was like, it was July 4th, and then in 7 seconds it was July 14th. Like, where has July gone? I was busier this month, like in July, because I was out of town for 2 weekends and we had summerween and everything, but oh my gosh. I start back at work next week and my kids start a few weeks after that, and I just can't believe that summer's already over. Because I'm starting back to work and I'm starting a new position. I got a new job over the summer, still working for the schools, but working in a different position. And so I don't know how much time I'm going to have to read this month, and with the beginning of school anyway. I have a kid in high school, I have a kid in middle school. It's just, August is a busy month. So I'm only gonna pick, in theory, I'm only gonna pick 6 books. Or I'm only gonna put 6 books on my TBR. Depending on which books come out of the jar, that may change, but right now I'm saying 6. So I already have 2 of them picked out. For my in-person book club, we normally read nonfiction, but we are continuing fiction summer for the month of August, and then we're gonna go back to nonfiction in September. We just all needed kind of a break, even though the last book we read was Parable of the Sower, so still kind of a heavy, dense book, just in a fiction way. But anyway, for this month we will be reading Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver. This is like not a parody, but like a parody retelling of David Copperfield. I've never read it. One person in our book club has read it, and she said she would love to read it again. So that's what we're reading. I do not have a copy. I'm gonna see if I can get a hard copy from my library. I also know that the audio is available on Hoopla, from my library in Hoopla, and I don't know if it's available on Libby, because I like ebooks better on Libby because I can send them to my Kindle, and Hoopla I can't. But anyway, I'm gonna see if they have a hard copy, just because I like holding books. So that's the first book. The second book is for the Buzzwordathon hosted by Books and Lala here on YouTube. Every month she has a title prompt where you try to find a book that fits into a book title that fits into the prompt. The prompt for August is like groups or clubs. And I could have gone back and like watched her video to get more clarification about that, but I didn't want to, and so I just chose The Friday Night Knitting Club by Kate Jacobs. I already own this book. Actually, my best friend and I went to the library sale, I guess this was back in 2024, so 2 years ago, and both got a copy of this book because they had multiple copies and it was only $1. So we were going to read it together and do like a buddy read. I'll check if she wants to read this. Right now, I don't know that she does. She has finally started listening to Dungeon Crawler Carl, but her son does not like the narrator, which, first of all, her son is 13 months old. And also, Jeff in book 1 is all over the place. He doesn't know the characters, he doesn't know his voices. Like, it's still good, but it's not as good as the other books, so whatever. Anyway, so tangent. I'm not sure she's going to want to read this one right now, but I am going to go ahead and put it on my list. So this is set in New York City. Apparently there's a yarn shop that every week they have a Friday night knitting club. So the owner of the store, Georgia, is a single mother, but then her daughter's father, her ex, the man who once broke her heart, comes back into her life and is demanding time with their daughter. And so it's just friendship, and luckily George's friends are there for encouragement, sharing their own tales of intimacy, heartbreak, and miracle making. And when the unthinkable happens, these women will discover that what they've created isn't just a knitting club, it's a sisterhood. Doesn't necessarily sound like my kind of book. Again, we picked it up. My friend and I also picked it up because we both love to knit. And so we're like, a Friday night knitting club. We love to knit. We love to read. We can both get a copy of this book. So anyway, that's going on the list for the Buzzwordathon. I forgot to pull my spinner up. Okay, now we are going to spin for 12 picks for 26. Let's see, how many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 left. Because I did finish Page Boy. I finished it last week and I really liked it. So we're just gonna see what it spins and talk about it from there. Oh, I'm pretty sure that's no, what is that one? Oathbound. It's Oathbound, again. This is the 3rd time the wheel has spun this. It's time to read it. The second one is still in my living room because I spun this back in March, but I need it, or April. I spun it in April. March, April, it doesn't matter. I spun Oathbound, but I needed to reread Bloodmarked. And I just left it in there. Okay, Oathbound by Tracy Deonn. This is the 3rd time this book has been on my TBR just this year, and so this will be getting read this month. I reread Legendborn. I reread Bloodmarked. I'm ready for this. So this is a chunky book. Oh my gosh, this is over 600 pages. Okay, it's over 600 pages. That's fine. I'm not going to tell you what Oathbound is about because this is the 3rd book in, I believe is going to be a quartet, but right now is a trilogy. So it's the Legendborn cycle. Yes, is what it's called. So in Legendborn, you are following 16-year-old Bree Matthews. She is going to like an early admissions college thing with her best friend Alice. So they're going to college courses on a college campus. And her first night, they're at a party. And Bree sees a creature, monster, that no one else can seem to see, but these other 2 people do see it and vanquish it. And so she's like, what was that? Follows them, does some digging, finds out that they're part of a secret society that follows the bloodlines of the Knights of the Round Table. So it's Arthurian legend. And it's very, very white. Obviously, Bree is not. So she starts like trying to be part of the society, but there's a lot of racism because, you know, because this follows old Arthurian legends and bloodlines. She also discovers that her mother and her ancestors were root magic users. And so she is learning about root magic, she's learning about Arthurian magic, she's learning about blood magic, all of these different things. And it's just a really different take on fantasy that I've read, I think, ever. This is considered a young adult series because Bree is 16, but it is very complicated magic. It is very in-depth. I don't feel that it reads as a YA series. I've loved the first 2. Legendborn was a 5-star, and Bloodmarked was 4.5. 4.5? I think it was 4.5. Anyway, I can't wait to get to Oathbound. We are finally going to read that this month. I guarantee. I do know that the audio is available at my library, so if nothing else, I can do like an immersive read or listen to the audio some too. Anyway, okay, that's 3 books. I am going to pick only 3, depending on what books we pull. Oh, I just remembered I added a couple more books to my TBR, but one of them is already in here because I bought one that was already in here that from my list of books I want to read that I don't own, but I found a paperback copy of it, holy cannoli, and so now I own it. So the other one is Wrath of Dragons, the sequel to Fear the Flames. It's fine if I don't pick that today. Okay, too many. Is this just one? Yes. Okay, let's see. Oh, hey, I already read this. It says Reckless, but that's not what I meant. I meant the first book in the Chestnut Springs series, which I did a vlog on that. I read it like 2 years ago maybe, and I called it Reckless the entire time. That's not what I meant. Flawless. I meant Flawless the entire time, but even my piece of paper says Reckless. I read Flawless. I gave it like a 3.5. Cowboy Romance, not for me. So I'm just putting it up there, even though that's not the book that it says. I don't want to read it. I don't want to. I've heard, like, Katie Coulson really, really loves the second one. And she and I usually have really similar tastes, which is funny because we also have the same birthday. So we're both Geminis. But I don't want to read Cowboy Romance. And maybe I will in the future, but right now I don't want to. So I put it in my jar of books that have already been read. Like strips of paper that I've picked out of here and read. So, okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so just kidding. Here's book number 1 of 3. And there's 2, so let's see. I'm going to read both of them and see which one I want. Enemies with Benefits. Wait, I think I've already read that. And then The Handmaid's Tale. Woo! Those are 2 completely different books. Enemies with Benefits. I'm pretty sure I read that. Yes, I did. I read that last August. That's funny because the Buzzwordathon is books with in the title. So Enemies with Benefits was one by Roxy Noir. It is apparently the beginning of a series. It has to do with like wedding planning, photography. I don't even remember. I don't remember. This says I gave it a 4 on Goodreads. I don't think I really gave it that high because I don't necessarily care. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. It was kind of just average for me. So, I will not be reading Enemies with Benefits. In fact, now that I've checked, I can put this in the jar too. Hooray! Look at that. Look how full this is getting. It's always so exciting. Okay, Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. That is available on Kindle Unlimited, which I do have for another like month and a half maybe. So I'm downloading that on my phone. It is a dystopian future. I would think that most people know. There's a TV show based on it. There's a second TV show about, is it like a prequel? I don't know. The Testaments isn't a prequel though, is it? Like, the book, wasn't it a sequel? I have no idea. Anyway, you're following a handmaid in a town called Gilead, which I believe is in America, like the US, but the population has dwindled. People can no longer get pregnant, so if you have children already or you're a fertile young woman, you get turned into a handmaid, and then like to try to live with a family and try to get pregnant by the man so they can have a baby. Anyway, I've watched almost all of the series. I think I'm in season 5, so like I need to just finish it, but I haven't. Maybe I will one day. I really liked it. It's just, I watched it so much and then I was just like, all of a sudden I was like, no, I can't watch this right now. So I stopped and then I just haven't gone back yet. Okay. Okay, so that was 1. Here's our second one. This is crazy, guys. This is Victorian Psycho. I have also already read this. I believe I read this for, I read it for Winterween this year? Or Summerween last year? I think it was Winterween. Anyway, I think it was Winterween this year. I read Victorian Psycho. I just found out it's being turned into a movie and it has Micah Monroe as the nanny. And I'm so excited because I love Micah Monroe. And I really liked Victorian Psycho. Unhinged Woman. Very short book. Highly recommend. It's like less than 200 pages, I think. It's really good. I would pick it out, but I don't know where I put it. I think it might be behind me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to pull it off the shelf because I'm not reading it because I already read it. Okay, let's try this again. Hey, at least I'm cleaning out some of the jar. Old Country. All right. I have not read that yet. I just dropped the paper, so I'm going to get the paper. The book is up here. All right. Old Country by Matt and Austin Harrison. Query. This started in the No Sleep Reddit, I think. Started as a creepypasta on Reddit. I do know that. Pretty sure it was in No Sleep, which is like horror. This is about a couple who buys a farmhouse, and when they get there, their neighbors come over and say, oh, by the way, This land is cursed. There are certain things, like rituals, that you have to complete every season or every month, and if you don't, bad things will happen. Like one of them, see, I read the first part of this on Reddit. I read like the first, I don't even know, several chapters on Reddit. But that was years and years and years ago. Okay, so it says their neighbors, Dan and Lucy, warn Harry and Sasha of a malevolent spirit that lives in the valley, one that with every season will haunt them in fresh, even more diabolical ways. At first it seems like an old wives' tale, but when spring arrives, so does the first evil manifestation, challenging everything Harry and Sasha thought they knew about the world. So, I got this at my library sale for $3 last year. I don't know, last year? I think last April or last September, I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. Super excited for this one. Because again, I read the first part of it and I really, really liked it. And then for some reason I just didn't ever go back to it. And then I heard people talking about this book and I was like, wow, that really sounds like that one thing I read on Reddit that one time. Yeah, the first edition was published in 2022. So, and then I looked into it and I was like, oh, that's because it is the story that I read on Reddit that one time. Y'all, I've been yapping so much that I've wasted 20% of my battery on my phone. Not my phone, my camera. So I should speed this up. Okay, here we go again. In theory, last book. Well, since we got Oathbound, this should be the last book and Demon Copperhead is also like over 500 pages. So I have a lot to read. Guild. Hey, I've already read this book too. Guild by Raven Kennedy. That's like a fantasy story that's kind of like it's based on King Midas. I read it last June for my birthday month. I really, really liked it. I just don't have the second one. So I haven't completed the series. The second one is Glint. I'm pretty sure they're all on Kindle Unlimited because I had downloaded at least Glint on Kindle Unlimited, but then I just never got around to reading it. I swear one of these just fell out, but I cannot see it anywhere, so I'm guessing it didn't actually fall out. Okay, here's hopefully the last book. Let's see. Haha! I wanted to read this book this winter. It's not winter, it's August. I haven't filmed this book haul yet because I'm waiting to see if I collect any more books this summer, but Slasher Summer by E.L. Chen. This is the Walmart exclusive edition. I like it because like the front looks like a VCR, like it has a little part right here, and then it has these pretty sprayed edges. I got it at Walmart. It was like 14 bucks, but perfect. End of summer, still loving spooky season because I always love spooky season. Nice short book. Okay, this is a fun, twisty tribute to the cult films of the 1980s. Slasher Summer shows that the real horror is never being able to escape who you were in high school. So it's a slasher, and it's, I think, set at a summer camp, a remote cabin where a cult B movie was filmed, and it's a reunion of people from high school. I love 80s movies. I do have to say my favorite like 80s franchise though is Nightmare on Elm Street. I prefer that over like Friday the 13th or Halloween or some of the other ones, but I can still get behind a camp slasher. Especially if it's like 80s nostalgia. So that's very exciting. This looks like a very small reading month, partially because it's only 6 books, but also only 4 of them. I only own 4 of them. And it doesn't look that small when you look at this. Oathbound. I am so excited to read it. It's just like, ugh. I might need to start reading that first so I can get it like before I get overwhelmed with school and stuff. I've been really rambly this video. I dropped another piece of my paper. I don't know where my paper went. Which one did I drop? Old Country. I must have dropped Slasher Summer. It's somewhere on the floor. Maybe I'll find that other one that I thought fell out. Anyway, so these 4 books, plus Demon Copperhead and The Handmaid's Tale. And hopefully I can actually get through all 6 of them. I am not done with my July TBR. I think I have like 4 books left. I may get to it this month. I mean, technically it's Monday, the 27th. July doesn't end until Friday. I still have 1 week of vacation, so we'll see how much I can get done and read. I don't know. I'm almost done with 2 books. It doesn't matter. I want to know, have you read any of these books and what did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye!